You called Rush then?
Professor Thomas Rush, actually.
You ever teached at Settle Comp?
Yes, but not very well by the sound of it.
Maths? Biology?
Yes, I took those subjects. And the after-school ornithology club.
Only what, mate?
Bird watching.
Dirty get.
The feathered type.
Oh, yeah, I remember. They nicknamed you the bird brain of calculus.
Who, the kids?
Nah, teachers.
Well, there you go.
You know my fiancé.
You're engaged?
Nah.
Married?
Nah, he's dead.
Sorry,
Not your fault.
I didn't know.
Really? You know him now?
Looks like Nobby Styles. 28 caps for England, 1 goal, 1966 World Cup winner.
No, that ring.
You said it wasn't my fault, really. That means you do blame me.
You don't want to know, mate.
If I'm being accused of something, I want to know what it is.
No, just leave it, mate.
I have a right to defend my reputation. I demand that you tell me.
Look, he killed himself in his father's car 24 years since.
Your fiancé committed suicide 24 years ago.
Yep.
I left here 31 years ago, so I cannot possibly be to blame for his suicide.
You teached him gambling.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Odds.
You mean probability?
Posh it up if you like, but you teached it, and you teached him.
I taught mathematics. It was part of my job.
Oh, and your lessons included stopping off at the bookies on your Orney outings and then bragging to the kids on the minibus about your winnings, yeah?
No, of course. Ah. I never really thought that through properly, did I?
No, you didn't, mate.
I was under a lot of pressure at the time. Engaged to Matt, a physically and sexually demanding woman.
Too much info, mate.
We couldn't afford to get married, working out in the sticks at some backwater facility. So I had a flutter on the GGs from time to time. It felt... God knows how it felt. It was so long ago.
And you ever wonder how she made ends meet?
You're right, she never gambled. It was when the kids asked what are odds, Mr. Rush. I thought I had to tell them. Where was the harm? 0.1 to the power of 6? After all, most of them couldn't fill out their own names, let alone complete a betting slip. I just wanted to be their friends, reach them on their level.
Level, as in destroy.
I'm sorry for your loss. Was it the gambling debts that forced him to take his life?
Not totally. He looked up to you. He wanted to be like you. He had the brains and the words, just no common. Sounds like the birds are coming home to roost, Mr. Rush.
Figuratively and literally.
Birds! They're pecking at the windows!
That would be the lions.
Yep.
Birds!
He's homophobic, you know.
God, it's the 21st century. There's no wrong with being gay.
Birds on the lawn!
Boy, this chapter's not learning.
Forgot! Lions!
Birds! Birds at windows! Lions! Nothing?
Nah, it's a walk-in wardrobe. He got his furniture in there.
And there he was gone, into his future.
You two haven't seen anything of my wayward husband, have you?
Yes, every few seconds, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'll get him for you.
Oh, right, thanks.
No problem.
I think.
Well, we must stop meeting like this.
Why?
Because you're a married woman.
And you?
Not.
Are you married?
No.
I'm not.
Not. Not
Your
looking.
hands, they still do something for me.
I don't remember my hands doing much for your libido in the past.
Well, maybe I didn't have the confidence then or the chance to tell you. Do you remember Handkerchief Garden?
Handkerchief Garden, yes, I do.
I used to watch you digging the borders in the rain from the kitchen window. I thought then what strong hands you had for an immunologist. I wanted to spend my whole life with you, but then you were so very young and I'd already lived half of my life already. By spring you'd gone, and I would just stand where you'd dug, trying to think of all the reasons. Was it the sex?
No, the sex was fine. Really fine. Thank you for really fine, really good sex everywhere.
In the spring the crocuses bloomed, and when I looked, they spelt out, "I love you," in white flowers. I ran into the house to give you a hug, but of course you'd been gone months by then. It hurt, Tom.
14 years difference, Matt. It's almost a generation. I was a young man. Was I going to settle down? There's a big wide world out there. I wanted to know what it was like to seduce and take. Not be seduced and taken.
And?
Fun, but very empty.
Will you come out of
We
there?
both moved on. Empty pockets.
Empty pockets, yes. He's had a bit of a scare. Spurs.
You mean?
Yes.
Out of 10, was he 1 low or 10 high?
Oh, 10, easily.
Oof, that's a red one then.
No, 11.
That's a red and a blue one.
You always were the walking pharmacist.
Don't talk about that now.
Found him in filing cabinet.
Where?
Filed under A umlaut.
A omelette. My God, I thought he was British.
Well, there is a little Germanic blood in him, as well as his fear of...
You know.
Netball? That's just stupid.
No!
Coo, 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 coo.
Oh! You mean this ship scared a bird?
Thanks! They killed my daddy!
What's about that?
You wasn't to know, dear. Tom, would you leave us for a few moments? He has had a bad scare, and he's also a bit strange about other people's body parts.
What?
Please?
All right. There's been far too many unfeasible revelations in the last 15 minutes for my liking. I hope the next quarter of an hour is going to be less eventful.
I wouldn't count on it, Prof.
I need a drink.
Need some water. Will you look after him for a moment? And if he comes around, please don't mention the B word.
Okay. If I remember. Miss.